Get a shot of Danilo De Luca, who's really suffering. Former leading contender, a colourful figure in the sport, it has to be said. Now with Vinny Fantini, the man they call the killer. And he's not put in the hurt on anyone else today. That honour goes to Tamil Kangert at the moment, and the Astana team lined up at the front and doing a very strong job. Strong job too being done by Bradley Wiggins. Interesting that his teammates are lined up behind him, so he wants to stay as close as possible to Vincenzo Nibali. He's going to follow him around for 3 weeks, except on those occasions where he's going to try and get away from him, or indeed when he's riding a time trial. So now heading towards the second mountain points of the day. Heading for the descent of Sella di Catona with just over 20 kilometres to go. Scarponi's in there, Visconti's in there. Visconti's won a couple of stages, of course. And Visconti's looking for an opportunity to score some points here, and I think he's got an excellent chance of doing it. And that might be just the job for him to hang on to that Mountains Leaders jersey for another day. Yeah, plenty of questions coming in on Twitter about cars getting in the way and motorbikes getting in the way and worrying the riders. Generally speaking, the motorbike riders are very, very skilled, incredibly skilled, and they don't cause any problem for the riders. And the riders are they're quite used to having motorcycles around them and cars around them, so it's not really an issue. As we see, no surprise here. Mountains classification leader Visconti. Visconti, of course, is also Sicilian and is one of those 6 Sicilians that has worn the Maglia Rosa over the years. Wore it on a couple of occasions in 2008. He's been a stage winner as well. He's had great success at this race. It's a race that's been kind to him. He's enjoying it, and he takes the points at the top of the third category. Sella di Catona, as the riders now prepare for this treacherous descent to the finish. Visconti immediately and dutifully slots back in the Astanas. Slots back in behind them. Yeah, it's interesting that Cadell Evans wasn't able to follow that little skirmish and wasn't able to get involved. I'm presuming he's back in there. I've no indication that he isn't, but it certainly wasn't a good sign for him that he wasn't immediately all over that little skirmish set off by rider Hagedal.
Yes, I think he was taken by surprise that, and it was a surprise to me as well to see one of the big favourites going in the attack. They were setting a good strong pace on the front, and I think a number of riders, including Cadell Evans, were caught out sitting a bit too far back, and we could see the group. There was only a very small group of big favourites up there, 15, 18 riders, and he just got caught a bit further back, but rectified the situation quite well, and he has to be in there now. I think I've seen him a bit further back in the group here, and it's Astana who will continue on making the pace. The riders on the front, Fabio Aru and Valerio Agnoli there in second place, with Nibali very close by, and we can see all the big favourites are starting to crowd around behind Nibali, because they're just worried about that he will start pushing on the descent, and you want to be on his wheel as quickly as possible.
Does Hagedal strike a psychological blow with that, or will the likes of Wiggins and Nibali just think, oh well, he's...
Well, I think some of the riders will get a little bit nervous, but the riders who are experienced and they're solid stage race riders, they're going to say, well, Hagedal, what's he doing here at the moment? When you see him going out in the attack, well, there's no point in doing that. As a favourite for the race, you're only just burning up your energy too early in the race for no gain whatsoever, and they're going to be quite relaxed about it. But as you get to the descent, you're always a little bit concerned when you have a real good descender that can descend so fast, and if you're not comfortable on the descent, well, then it's a little bit of worrying times in this situation on a stage like today.
Question from Oz Knitter on Twitter is who can match Nibali's descending skills? Well, who indeed? And indeed, will Vincenzo Nibali try and take the opportunity to get away?
Well, I think if you look at the peloton at the moment, there's not anybody in there really who can match Nibali when he really goes for it in the descent. You'd have to go back a number of years and take a few guys out of retirement. Sabordelli was a brilliant descender, and he won Giros because of his descending, or maybe not won, but it certainly helped a lot. But at this moment in peloton, I think Nibali, he is by far the best descender on the big long descents. And of course, you don't get the opportunity to see the big sprinters up front.
Well, look at that. Come at the hour, come at the man. Is this? No, indeed not. I got a bit excited. It is in actual fact Agnoli off the front for the Astana squad. Perhaps offering the springboard for Vincenzo Nibali. Someone is going to have to chase this. Other riders that are a little bit twitchy and perhaps fancy their chances are going to have to chase this down. And will it offer the opportunity for... oh, and look at this. It's Hejidal. Hejidal that draws up alongside Agnoli. Agnoli will sit in behind him. That's indeed if he can. Hejidal looks to see if he's coming with him. He absolutely is. And Hejidal is unbelievably and excitingly, I think, frisky. He's up for it in a big way. Luca Paolini, who won Gent-Wevelgem this year, and we had targeted. Katusha showed a huge amount of enthusiasm for chasing early on, and Luca Paolini clearly has good legs today. He told his teammates they did a good chase for him, and now they've got a decent advantage. 30 seconds, they're saying, to the chasing group. If that's true, it's unbelievable that they managed to draw it out that quickly. Meanwhile, the group behind Watch and the Blanco squad on the front, is it Robert Hessink? It's Hessink, I think, is fourth or fifth rider there. BMCs have arrived.
Yes, and it looks like Kreiswick on the front for the Blanco team, and a lot of action here, and it's amazing that Hejidal, he's really on fire today. He is just attacking, and any moment he's going for it, and he must be feeling on one of these great days.
Well, all the talk before Giro d'Italia 2013 was about Bradley Wiggins in the time trials versus Vincenzo Nibali attempting to take time in the mountains, and it was, that was the belief. Hejidal, yes, the reigning champion, included in all the previews, but people were saying, well, I don't know about that. I don't think that Hejidal that lightning can strike twice. Well, at the moment, he's giving a demonstration of the extraordinary form that he's got. Interesting that Astana sent Agnoli up the road. What was their thinking there, one wonders, as Hejidal attempts to hang on to his advantage. And it looks as if they've closed it down. So 30 seconds might have been a slightly erroneous number. This is a long, winding, twisting descent. Technical, I think, is the word for it. And it'll definitely favour the brave.
Fast descending here, everybody in one line, and we can see just gaps appearing, and they're certainly pushing on at a real hard pace here.
How come it's so, it is that much easy, or appears to be easy for riders to close up on the descent? I mean, everyone's pushing. 2:40 back to Salvatore Puccio, so it's looking all up for him. His days as the leader are, his moments as the leader are numbered. Meanwhile, out front, here's Hejidal and Agnoli. Agnoli won't go around and give a turn, no question about that. They've got a few bike lengths advantage over Paolini. BMC also up there.
Looking like Santa Marita from BMC, and we also see a Vini Fantini rider, Sant'Ambrogio, just coming across there, but the gap is minimal, as we can see there. The group of other big favourites, including Wiggins, very close, but a lot of riders really fighting here, and the riders who are not comfortable on the descent, when they really push on like this, well, then they really come under pressure, and we could see the rider from AG2 Mondial there, looks like
Pozzovivo, I think it was, wasn't he?
Pozzovivo, yeah. Or possibly the other Colombian rider, Betancourt.
They're the two favourites for AG2R Le Mondial. Both two great climbers, perhaps a little less suited to this descent. And if they can tag on to the back of the group, they'll get hauled towards the finish. And look at the way groups are snaking around the road. There are groups all over the place on this descent. So 13 kilometres.